series, and in this series we will be learning about tuples. So what are tuples? Tuples are basically, it is an immutable. Immutable meaning it cannot be changed or altered. So in tuple we have a set, in list of ordered items, and that order cannot be changed or altered. This tuples is immutable, and also it allows the duplicates. So moving to my Jupyter notebook, let me create an empty tuple. So my underscore tuple is equal to this. So tuples are identified or notified with round brackets. So in my tuples, I will try to store some of the elements like apple, banana, and kiwi. So let me print what my tuple has, and I want to know what is the type of my tuples. So, and I press on shift and enter. See, I'm getting what does the tuple has been stored, like apple, banana, kiwi, and the class, that is the data type, it has a tuple. So I have this tuple. So this is an ordered. Can I add or change or remove anything? No, you cannot change or remove anything in this. So here it is. So let me copy and paste. So we know the indexing thing, right? So this is 0, 1, and 2. So my underscore tuple dot, in order to add the items, we will do this or add. I will, in this list, I will try to add the things. So when I try to add sherry, and when I try to print my tuple, it will throw me an error because it does not append attribute append. So it basically it won't support, tuples won't support the adding the items. Okay. So can I make any changes in this only? No, you cannot make changes in this also. For example, let me copy paste this, and as we know, we will be using the indexing thing to change it. So in the 0th index, I want to store this as a sherry. So let me print my underscore tuple. No, even this also won't show. So as I said, the tuples are immutable and we cannot change or add any of the items. So moving on, uh, I have strings, like data type strings here. So can I store any integer or any float values in the tuples? Obviously, yes, you can store any of the integer, or it allows all the types of the data. For example, I will store the integer and I will give 0.5. Also, I will give the Boolean float. And when I try to print it, so here it is. It has stored all the value. Sorry, instead of float, I was about to give the true. It has stored all the value. So in tuples, we have only two built functions. So inbuilt functions inbuilt functions in tuples, we have count and we have index. So basically this count returns, it returns the number of times a specified value occurs in tuples, and this indexing basically searches the tuple for specified values and returns the position, like basically where it has been stored, where it was found. So how do we find it? So for example, I will give my underscore tuple 1. I have 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 2. I will give count. I want to first let me go with the inbuilt function of the count. So my underscore tuple 1 dot count of, I want to know what is the count of 2. So when I try to print this count, it will say 3 times. How it has been calculated in the thing, in a sense, like in this tuples, I have stored number 2 as 3 times. So it has given the output as 3. For example, if I take number 4, what is the count of 4? How many times it has been repeated? So it says it is repeated only 1. So for example, if I give 4 here again, like it has 2 4s in that tuple. So I want to know the count of 4. It gives 2 times it has been there. So basically, the same thing for the indexing. So my underscore tuple 2 I will give, and in this I will store apple, banana, and kiwi. Okay, when I give the index I want to know of my tuple 2, I want to know the indexing of banana. Let me give banana and print index of it. I sorry, I should give this dot index. That's the reason. So here we can see this. It has pointed out. Basically, as we know, this indexing thing, it will be 0. Apple will be the 0 index, banana will be the first index, and kiwi will be the second index. So this is done with the indexing. However, slicing. So slicing also, obviously, we can do in tuple. So for example, I will give tuple. For the slicing, we will be using the square brackets only, even for the tuples. There is no change. So I want to know the second index. It gives so in the tuples 2, I want to know the first index. From first index, I need from A to everything. So I will give from 1 to this colon, and it has given all the things like A, banana. It has removed the banana. This will be the 0th index, and whatever the remaining, it has given me as output. So we have learned about the inbuilt function as well. So moving on, let's try to understand how to convert a list into a tuple. So converting a list into tuples. So for example, I have my underscore list. So in this list, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So when I give print underscore my list, it should give the list of these things. So same thing, I want to store this one in my tuples. 3 I will give is equal to, I want to store it as a tuples. So tuples my underscore list, and I will give print my underscore tuple 3. So how we are converting a list into tuples in the sense, so I have given a list of these things and I am calling out the function. So I am storing this my list, this particular list inside the tuples, and in order to define this one, I have to use the data types, like what data type it should be converted. So let me print. Here we can see this print my list when I have given in the in list form, it has taken as 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the square brackets. When I have converted the same list into a tuples, it has taken in a tuple. You can see this rounded brackets. How you can find out, in the sense you can distinguish between the brackets. Also, we can find the length of the tuples. So for example, print length of, what is the length of my tuple 3, I will give. It has given me a 5. Yeah, it has 5 5 lengths, 5 numbers. Basically, I have stored the 5 numbers over here, so it has given the length of 5. Also, we have one more thing called as a create tuple with one item. So what do you mean by this? So creating a tuple with one item, it meaning to create a tuple with one item, you have to add comma after the item, or any after the data which has been stored. Otherwise, Python will not recognize it as a tuple. So for example, how we can say is, I will give my apple is equal to apple, and when I try to print my type of my underscore tuple, it takes it as a it takes it as a string instead of a tuples. So what if I add comma next to the apple? See, after adding the comma next to the apple, it has taken as a tuple. So in the deep summary, we have understand what is a tuple. As we know, tuple is immutable, that we cannot change or alter any of the items. We have seen how to create an empty tuple, how to find out the type of the tuple, also what are the errors we get when we add or remove the when we try to add or remove the items. Also, tuples can store many data types in it, and tuples has basically two built-in functions, that is account and indexing. And we have seen how to convert a list into a tuples, and finding out the length of the tuples, and how to find and what happens to create a tuple with one item. So that's it for today's session. So let's all meet in next session. So until then, please like my video, subscribe, and give a comment and share it with them. Thank you all. Have a nice day.